Hi everybody, what's going on? I got a special guest today, or if you want to call him special. He hasn't been around in a while, but you all know who 7th Level is.
I hope they do.
Well, maybe they forgot. You don't make videos anymore.
I make videos, I just don't make them every week. I don't sit on my ass and post 3 and 4 videos a day every time a new news article comes out.
Oh, damn. But I'm pretty sure most of you in this community already know the video or the podcast or the stream or the Google Hangout that was uploaded last night by Fat Gamer. So we're going to, talk about it a little bit because it was funny, it was entertaining. Not for all the right reasons, but for a lot of the wrong reasons.
That wasn't for any of the right reasons. Jesus Christ.
So, if nobody knows, the people in this chat were C4, John Ho, Dark Dick Rider, Fat Gamer, and Zier. The usual collection of people. Now, I don't really have anything much to say about C4. I mean, he was the one saying, hey, let Bond in. He was the only guy that could talk legit English. He was the only guy I could understand. I don't know about you, 7th.
That must be why I'd never heard of him, because he speaks legit English.
Oh, damn. But we'll go down the list in order, and then we'll get through segments of this little video, this little apologetic fest, this little drama that they all got into. First up, we're going to talk about John Ho. John Ho had nothing to do with any of this, and hell, I didn't even think Zier had anything to do with this because I thought it was a Fat Gamer, Hard 8 and me thing. But if you don't know who John Ho is, he's what we call the Fall Man or the Help. Cooking at 12 in the morning because he has something to do when Zier says he's going to leave.
I haven't had a whole lot of interaction with that guy, but the few times where and of course this was months, possibly even a year or more ago, but the only times that I've ever dropped into a room where he was in there, he was essentially just there to back up whatever his bro said.
That's why they call him John Ho. I mean,
it's kind of like those old Warner Brother cartoons where you had the big bulldog and then you had the little shitty dog, and the little shitty dog would just follow along with the bulldog. What are we doing today, Spike? What are we doing today?
Oh, man, I remember that. That Looney Tunes stuff, right?
Exactly, and that's what I kind of think of him as he's just the just the yes guy.
Pretty much, he's the yes man. He's like Ralphus.
Yes, he's Ralphus, exactly.
He jumps
Jericho
from
Protection Services. Yeah, that's him.
Predator Protection Service.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude jumps from podcast to podcast to podcast. He actually went legit one time and spoke out against the Xbox One, and Zier and company didn't like that, and they booted him out. They exiled him.
I've kind of wondered if he's the one that runs Zier's little sock accounts that come and defend everything that he does, because he'll have like these same 1 or 2 accounts that'll just pop in out of nowhere defending his ass when he does something stupid. So you see these accounts a lot, and I've kind of wondered if he runs those, because the it's all bad English, but the bad English in those sock accounts is slightly less bad English than what Zier does. So,
I mean, he is
kind of
fall
wondered
man.
if it was as you say, the Help. Now I wanted there were so many gentlemen of color in that chat room last night. I don't want to get anybody confused. And if I'm not mistaken, now he's the one that kind of sounds like some 50-year-old guy that might be sitting out in front of a barbershop.
Yeah, pretty much. He was the guy.
What's going on in here? I mean, motherfuckers. That guy.
Yeah, he's the guy that spells everything wrong, and then when Zier gets made fun of for spelling things wrong, he says, "Oh, John Ho did it for me." John Ho's the Fall Man.
Oh, like his own name?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
And John Ho, the Help, he takes the Fall Man. Like, when C4 was like, yo, invite Bond in. You guys are talking to him for half an hour. Why don't you just talk to him? And Hard 8's like, don't talk to me. Say it to his face. Zier said he had to go, and immediately John Ho had to go. Because,
I gotta be cooking.
12:45 in the morning, he got to be cooking.
Yeah. What's he cooking at 12:45 in the morning?
I don't know.
Is he whipping up some pudding for some old folks at the old folks home? I mean, what can you possibly be cooking? You got to be going to the bathroom cooking up some turds because you ate dinner late. I mean, seriously, what could he possibly? It was so obvious.
So
It was
convenient
so
too.
fucking
Oh,
obvious.
12:40. I gotta cook, guys. Hold on.
Hard Eight. Hard Eight says, "Why don't you just let Black Bond come in here, fat gamer?" And then all of a sudden, "Oh, that's it. I got to go." And then they're like, "Yeah,
I got
cook
things to
it."
do. Got things to
Yeah.
do. Like it's a Friday or Saturday.
They could sit and talk shit at whatever it was, 12:30, 1 o'clock at night for over an hour. But the minute it gets serious about inviting you into the chat room, oh shit, I got to go.
Well, they kicked me twice, right?
Yeah, I saw it. Your face appeared briefly, and I hear, "Now it's my turn to talk," and then you're gone.
Yep. Well, let's move on to Dark Holy. That mushmouth dude that was there in the beginning. Did you catch that dude?
Oh, the one that got all heated?
Yeah, he was talking like 500 miles a minute, like his tongue couldn't catch up to his mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. The other dude with dreadlocks.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, he didn't really have much to say, but I already dealt with him in a prior Skype call. But the funny thing is him and Dark Dick Rider and John Ho. These dudes are asking Hard 8 if I have a mental disability. These dudes can't read, they can't type, they can't write, and they can't speak. And they have the nerve to say that I have a mental disability?
Yeah, that would be like, well, not to belittle the guy, because he and I get along now, but that'd be like Tokes calling you out for having a mental disability.
You gotta love these corner store gangsters with their armchair psychology.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, let's talk about Fat Gamer now. This
Half
dude
of them haven't passed the 3rd grade, but they think that they have a firm lock on what your mental state is.
Pretty much.
That's fucking brilliant.
I'm not the one screaming on camera, losing my composure and everything. Well, let's talk about Fat Gamer. He's got about as many brain cells as he's got teeth. This dude is the biggest fraud in the world, yo. They're talking all that crap, thinking nobody was gonna come in. Talking all that crap, thinking nobody was gonna come in. As soon as Hard 8 and our people come in, he started sucking him off. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a spooge fest once he was actually in there, I was, that's just what I do. I was just trying to rile you up to get you to come into the chat, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I ain't got nothing against Fat, and I ain't got nothing against Super Brothers. I clown around and joke around with them quite a bit, and we've never really had a real beef. We had like this little back and forth a couple of years ago, but for the most part, all of us can just sit and talk and not offend, each other and get along just fine. But when I saw that, which I only watched it maybe an hour and a half ago, so it's still fresh in my mind. The first thing that I did was I went into his comments and I told him, no offense, Fat, but the minute Hard 8 appeared in the room, you turned more yellow than a puddle of Big Bird's piss. I mean, it was sad.
He didn't say nothing.
The sudden turnaround. All of a sudden, he got real quiet, and then it's all about he did all this to make peace with everybody.
Yeah, all those last 3 months of the best of both worlds and jelly this and jelly that just poof.
Right. All
disappeared.
of that for months that was all just build up to goad Hard 8 into coming in to resolve beef. So he's saying that he generated 3.5 or possibly longer months of beef to resolve beef.
This is worse than who was that dude that did that undercover nerd thing?
Oh,
way back. I'm taking it back to the way back machine.
Oh God, man.
Was that Reverend Dumars that did that or whatever?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't even remember the details of it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, it was Hellhound too. They going deep undercover.
That was me and Hellhound. That was the undercover Xbot thing. But the undercover nerd thing was Reverend Dumars, if I'm not mistaken. But what can you really say? The guy he talked straight trick shit for like 20 solid minutes. Just ashing the hell out of Hard 8.
Talking about they invited us.
And then, when Hard 8 comes in, Fat Gamer just disappears off the face of the earth, and Zier doesn't want Hard 8 to get a word in edgewise, so he goes into MVP mode and starts talking a mile a minute, trying to drown everybody out so you can't hear what anyone's counterpoints are.
And notice
Which
how
is-
me, BG, and Jack Move and Dread got kicked real quick.
Right, just bam, 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 bam. It's like your faces appeared and then your faces were gone. Which you know, I kind of had a feeling just from the way they were talking that you know, Fat Gamer was sitting there with his finger riding right over the block button.
Yeah, they didn't expect anybody to come in, but when the challenge was answered, they're like, "Oh crap! Now what do we do?
Yeah.
Now what do we do?"
Yeah, I would have to agree because with the exception of Zier actually, you know, stepping up and you know how honest any of it was, well, that's certainly debatable. But at least he talked his shit.
Yeah,
Even if it was bullshit, at least he talked his shit. You know, Hard 8 was not Hard 8. Fat Gamer was just like mum's the word.
Yeah, and he talking about Hard 8 being all this jelp and syrup and stuff. He sucked he sucked Hard 8 off hard.
He made it out like he was just the mediator, you know.
Yeah,
I'm just bringing everybody together to make peace.
I've never seen that much damage control since. And that's the funny thing. If that was your goal, then why did you kick other people out of the call? Why were you trying to leave when everybody says, well, okay, Hard 8's done. Why don't you let BLACKB0ND get in there and get his word in?
Right, and the obvious thing was because they started when they started talking about him passing the invite around. It's like he's going to invite his boys in here and they're going to gang up on us. But, oh no, I'm going to get ganged up on Skype. Whatever shall I do?
But that's the funny thing is, didn't they say, give it to all your friends, we want Bond in here, we want Jack Move in here, we want Hard 8 in here. They were talking all that good stuff, but then when people got in, what'd they do? Block, boot, block, boot.
One or two of them did, but, you know, the help, as you like to call him, from the get-go, he was like, I don't want BLACKB0ND in here.
Yeah, same with Zier. Zier was talking about me for a good half an hour. But when everybody was like, oh, yo, invite BLACKB0ND, and he's like, oh, I got something to do, guys. I got something to do.
He got mental issues.
Yeah, which is funny because, as we all know, Fat Gamer is autistic and suffers from Asperger's syndrome. And once again, though, I'm the one with mental issues. When we all know Fat Gamer is autistic. Hey.
Well, I don't think you have mental issues. Maybe you have career choice issues, but you don't have mental issues.
I keep forgetting I lied about being a teacher for a bit, too. You know, I just snuck into a school, walked into it, because, you know, there's no such thing as code yellows or anything anymore. Some 6'4" black guy just randomly walks into a school.
Yeah, you could just walk into any school.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the days post-Columbine and everything, cops would be there in a flash.
Oh, yeah, well, especially after Sandy Hook, my God.
Mm-hmm.
But... yeah,
it's just funny. Well, let's move on to the biggest fraud of them all, Zier. Talking about he's happy to clear his name. What is this dude talking about? Always swearing on, I swear on my grandmother's grave. I swear on my mama. I swear on my daughter. I swear I never called Trey a homosexual or a pedophile. Yeah.
What's his obsession with grandmothers anyway? He's either swearing to them or fucking them. I mean,
hey, them dick pills, man. Them dick pills.
I guess. It's just that just kind of you take one of those and you're just walking around with a loaded weapon and you don't care what you shoot. I guess
that's why he looks like that, man. He's always talking about fighting, but I don't fight women. I don't fight pregnant chicks. My name's not Ray Rice. You see how sloppy he looks, man? Oh my God.
Well, you know, I've been around with some of this Skype stuff. I was in that chat room when he dropped what was it, a Vicodin or was it an Oxy? He dropped either a Vicodin or an Oxy, and then he dropped a Blue Genie on top of that.
He used to always say in the Skype calls, "Yo, Chanel, get my dick pills." You remember that, right?
Yeah, and then he would pass out in the middle of the Skype call, and you could hear him like
snoring,
choking on his own spit while he was passed out asleep at his desk.
Hey.
You know, I remember that shit.
If any
you can't
kids
tell me that was made up.
Yeah.
I was there.
If any kids are watching, lay off them dick pills.
Yeah, they're not for recreational use. You know, if you don't have a limp dick, don't be taking the dick pills.
This dude is a liar about everything.
Fuck you up.
And now, what was up? What? Tell me, what did the whole 30 minutes of Santonio Holmes have to do with anything?
I think he was trying to prove that he wasn't a pedophile. Like he was trying to pass the blame off on Antonio Holmes sending him a link to some pedophile shit.
Like BG was it? Like, it was something about Santonio Holmes and BG. I don't know who Santonio Holmes is.
Yeah, who was it? Who was it that he was trying to say was a homosexual, and he was trying not to out him?
BG.
BG
who was not even involved in any of this. So I don't know why he was even brought up.
I don't care. I don't care. You know, it doesn't make a lick of difference to me if somebody fucks with a dick or likes to suck dick. I don't care. It's none of my business. But if he didn't want to out him, then why did he just out him?
You know what the funny thing is though?
Wasn't BG the one that made a video like sitting on the floor of his bedroom in front of his bed crying because of some shit that had gone on between him and his girlfriend?
No, he wasn't sitting on the bed. That was we still don't know what that was. But the bottom line is did he just like recently become gay and or something, or is we will never know why he made that video crying?
I mean, why does it matter? But if everything that I've seen from him so far would imply that he's
got that girl
not
Lisa.
Of that persuasion, so why would, if Zier didn't want to out him and thought that he had this straight true shit on him, why would he suddenly turn around and bring it up?
I don't know, but you know what the
like
funny
thing? Trying to deflect attention off of himself.
Oh yeah, he was. It was his little 30-minute sob story. But you know what the funny thing is? He said, "Oh, it was Shokyo that told me. Shokyo this, Shokyo that. Shokyo told me." Shokyo made a video with BG, basically saying Zier's full of shit, and made the whole thing up. Now,
I seem to remember that.
You remember that, right?
Yeah.
Now, who are we gonna believe here, Shokyo or Zier?
Yeah, I've never known Shokyo to lie about anything in a Skype chat or in a video. He doesn't really have to.
No, there's nothing to lie about. But the funny thing is, he wants to know where this all started, where it went wrong. And he really needs to go back, because where it started and where it went wrong is we used to make fun of him. You see, Zier is a kitchen gangster. He is a wannabe gangster or a former gangster trying to live the gangster life. The nigga's got no friends in the real, so what does he do? He looks to the internet for friends. You see like those guys like Crap Gamer and all those guys, all they do is talk about games and talk about PlayStation, but they don't ever play anything. Zier got killed by a bot in Titanfall.
Yeah.
But the thing started with Zier, because Zier...
Have you seen his trophy and achievement score?
Yeah.
It's fucking pathetic. He's got a worse trophy and achievement score than the BLACKB0ND does.
Oh my god, he's another fraud. But this video is not about him.
Right.
But the thing that started out with Zier was... I forgot who did it, but somebody looked up his gamer tags, and he doesn't play games. He doesn't beat games. So we used to, tease him and make fun of him. And we tease Trey and shit. And people tease me that I have more Steam games that I can catch up to. But Zier started taking it super personal. And that's what, he kind of fell off a little bit. But, Zier would come and Zier would go, this and that. He's right about the $3,000 PC. It took it a while to ship. But, remember, he said he couldn't get the PC yet because he had to wait for his grandma to give him his birthday money. That was the real reason it took a while. You remember that, Grandma Rivers?
Yeah, I remember that.
He was like, "Oh my!"
Again, I haven't been in on all of them, but I've been in on a few, and I remember being in on the tail. I was in on like the last half of that conversation because you were the one that pulled me in on it.
He was like, "Oh, I gotta wait for my grandmother. My grandma's giving me money for my birthday, and they're gonna get the PC." It didn't take 9 weeks because of all of that. It took 9 weeks because 1, he had to get the money from his grandma, and 2, then he had to wait for the back order because he ordered it late. But we said he didn't have it, then he showed us, and like, okay, cool, he has it. Nobody has ever said anything about that PC once he showed it. Once he showed it, okay, you got it. There's nothing else to say. But about the $12,000 PC, originally it was a $13,000 PC. So, Hard 8's telling me that this dude's got a $13,000 PC. And this is what I never got. I don't understand why Zier was mad at Hard 8, because Hard 8 was the one defending Zier. Saying, oh yeah, he's got it. And I'm like, wait a second, a $13,000 PC? Remember when Zephyrnix made that bullcrap email about MVP flagging him and everybody believed it?
Yep.
And I called it out, said, no, it's false. Same with the $13,000 PC. Everybody believed it. But I'm the one who called him out on it. Then he got all offended about, oh, you're thinking I can't afford it? I'm like, well, then why don't you show it like you showed the $3,000 PC? And he never showed it. And the rest is pretty much history.
Right.
So he really has no reason to be mad at Hard 8 because Hard 8 was defending him, but when we called him out on it, he never showed it.
And that's the other thing, you know, he had no problem showing everybody the $3,000 PC, but he doesn't want to show anybody the $9,000 TV that he just bought that is barely supported by any media right now.
That conveniently is covered up where it says inches on the box.
Right, and he doesn't want to show his $13,000 PC, which again, the power of a PC that would cost that much is used by nothing right now.
Pretty much.
Why did he not have a problem showing a $3,000 PC
or the Mac?
But this super, super incredible PC that he's bought now, that again, no games currently utilize the power that it would have. He doesn't want to show it. He could shut down a whole bunch of people and make a whole bunch of people look like fools just by opening the case and sticking his camera in it.
Oh, he could destroy everybody. It would be something.
It would destroy you.
It would be something the whole entire community could never come back from. It would be the biggest ownage of all time.
Right. No one would be able to touch. He'd be untouchable. No matter how dumb he got, you would never be able to live down the fact that people spent months making fun of him for this Neverland PC, and then he takes 2 seconds to just open up the cabinet and stick the camera in there, and boom, everyone is destroyed. Everyone's reputation is destroyed, and he's sitting there looking pretty.
That video would be worth 50 times more than the definitive version of all your favorite games.
And do you know how many views that video would get?
Oh my God! Not only because it's a $12,000 PC and PC enthusiasts would love it, but like I said, that video, if he would have ever done it or will ever do it, but we know he can't. It would there could never be any ownage that could ever eclipse that video. Impossible. And that's how I know he doesn't have it, because if he really wanted to destroy people, he would just take 5 seconds and destroy everybody.
Right,
everybody.
It would be a mass ownage of almost the entire community in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
Which is something that very few people in this community have managed to do. So,
And he really has no reason to be mad at anybody. The only reason he's mad at people is because people are calling him out on the things he lies about.
Yeah.
If he never lied, then there would never be a problem. And he's always talking about, I keep it real, I keep it 100, I'm a man. Like, then prove it. Prove it.
Like those 10 stacks of $100 in ones.
Oh, man. That was just sad.
I mean, how dumb you gotta be to not know that those stack wraps are color coded. I mean,
and like he said, I worked at Wells Fargo. I mean, it's funny. He goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna visit you at Wells Fargo. I don't work at Wells Fargo anymore, but I did." So who does he really think he can fool when somebody worked at a financial institution? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, dog. The blue straps, really? That amount of money he was holding, if those were literally all hundreds, that would have been $100,000 plus in his hands. You do not have that in your house. You do not have that in your hand. No one that lives the quote unquote gangsta lifestyle would be dumb enough to show that they had $100,000 in their house. Yeah,
because it's like that comment that I posted the day that went up, that blood soaked the community today when 2 armed robbers broke into the house of Zier Johnson as he was sitting in front of his E-Machines PC and shot him in the back and made it out with 10 stacks of $100 in ones,
And really, man, if you had $100,000 in your hand, or even 20 like he claims, why are you wearing the same clothes every day? Why are you eating dinner off a rabbit cage?
Right, and if he had $100,000 in his house with the kind of people that he claims to associate with, that scrawny little guy that's in some of his videos that looks like half the life's been sucked out of him, looks like a walking mummy. That guy would like break the rabbit cage over his head and take that money himself. You ain't telling me he ain't got no $100,000 sitting in his house.
No.
That would be it. And it not only would it be stupid for him to keep that amount of money in cash in his house, it would be twice as stupid to then broadcast the fact that he has that money because he's already been doxxed. Everyone's got his name, his address.
Everybody knows where he lives, which
phone
is
number.
Which is funny because he said he lost 2 cars in Hurricane Sandy. Hurricane Sandy hit the Jersey Shore. He lives 30 minutes from me. We're about 2 hours from the Jersey Shore, Zier. No offense.
Right. So unless for perhaps protection from the cops reasons, he had a car stowed away at a secret location on the beach. There's not really any reason for him to have lost the car.
Man. But did you watch his last video or whatever?
Which
Acting
one?
like, I'm all cool with Hard 8 now, all hugs and kisses. Can we get back into Skype calls and stuff doing that again? Can we please?
No, I have not seen that. I have not seen that video.
Yeah, he just made it recently. But the funny thing is, though, do you remember the days where Huntmaster and, like, Dream 308 and, like, Dark Cloud and, like, Brody and everybody used to be in the Skype chats and stuff like that?
Yep.
Do you know why they're not in the Skype chats anymore?
Because they're white?
No, it's because Zier posted that baby sex pedophile stuff into the chat.
Okay, yeah.
That's why you don't hear from Dream 308 anymore. That's why Dream 308 shut down his channel. He said it right in that video that Hard 8 made, that Huntmaster Flex originally made. Dream 308, when that was posted, because I remember I was in there that night in that chat when he posted that. Dream 308 said, "Yo, I'm done. I can't be around this pedophile shit," and that was it. Because remember, we used to be in Skype like almost every night, remember?
Yeah, and I would go in probably maybe twice a week because
Officer 7th.
Yeah, Officer 7th. Yeah, because y'all started calling me that because of the whole Shokio girlfriend thing.
Yeah.
That's why y'all started calling me that, because I went and told Shokio what the fuck was going on in there, and everyone talking shit about his girlfriend. I was like, hey, they're talking shit about your girlfriend in there. And then the minute he comes in, and nobody was saying nothing. Nobody said nothing bad about her. They were talking about how she looked like her face had been run over with a lawnmower and shit like that. And just talking pure trick shit. But just the same situation as that chat. The minute the actual guy comes in,
everybody's all cool magically.
Everybody's all cool and nice to him. It's like the minute the person they're talking shit on actually shows up in the room, their balls go up in their throat and chokes them, and they can't say that shit no more.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the reason why you don't see Dream, you don't see Hump, you don't see these guys in the Skype chats anymore. Because once he posted that in the chat, and he is such a liar. He did not post that in the chat and say, "Listen, I want this flagged," or this, that, and that. He did not say any of that crap.
And I do want it on the record that I was not in that chat that night. I was only shown a cache of the conversation after the fact. I wasn't where somebody had like I don't even remember who it was that showed them to me, but somebody had screen capped the chat to where they had a log of it, and they sent me the log, and I was looking at it, and so I wasn't actually in there when it happened. All I saw was the aftermath of it, and then I remember never seeing Dream 308. I haven't even talked to him since then.
He's been gone because he doesn't want to be around that stuff, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him either. But yeah, ever since that, I mean, I don't know why he's lying and saying, "Oh, he wanted to flag it." No, I mean, even Blacktooth Grin will verify that.
Yeah. That
as soon as he posts that, everybody was like, "Nah, we're done with this dude. Yo, we can't be talking to this guy. You can't be posting child porn into a Skype chat. Can't be doing that stuff."
Well, like I said, I saw a log of the chat, and there wasn't anything about, "Hey guys, look at this shit. You need to flag this shit." It was just there. It was.
Yep. Exactly.
No warning, no nothing, no. I'm doing this for the lulz. None of that shit. It just bam, there it was.
And that's some freak stuff. And I'm not going to sit up here and call him a pedophile and stuff, but that's some freak stuff. He's talking about how his wife was crying and this and that, and people are lying around. Yo, nobody is lying about anything. The link was directly in there on the Skype chat. Skype verified. This dude posted some crazy freak stuff into the Skype chat. There's no lying. There's no debating it. It is a fact, and it happened. And he did not say anything about, "Oh, we need to flag this." That was some bullcrap. That was a lie. Dream 308 will tell you that's a lie. Blacktooth Grim will tell you that's a lie. Hard 8 will tell you that's a lie. Huntmaster Flex will tell you that's a lie. I will tell you that's a lie. Everybody in that chat will tell you that's a lie. Because we had that huge Skype chat going that was always there, remember? And then, poof, it's gone.
Yep, all you ever had to do was just bounce right back into the same one because it was never closed.
Never.
It was never closed, but it was closed after that.
Yep, and that's when the Skype wars ended, because Skype wars were at an all-time high.
And that was also when all of a sudden, when you would invite me into a chat room, I'd end up being, well, besides you, the only white guy in there.
What?
And it's like everyone except the guys, like Hard 8 and Zier and what have you, and Shokio every now and again. It's like all the white folk just fled.
Yep, they left. That's why Huntmaster Flex calls it the Black Panther chat. Same with Dream.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I honestly, I wish that was one that like Nintendo Ultra had been in on, so he could have recorded it.
Oh yeah, but it's funny how these dudes talk about being OGs or thugs and gangsters and stuff, but they're afraid and they running scared of the whitest black guy on YouTube.
Well, you remember how it was for a while there, where all that had to happen was either I jump into the chat or Huntmaster would jump into the chat, and they'd jump off like rats from a sinking ship. They didn't want to be around either one of us. And now that most of the white folk have fled the chat, it's kind of migrated down to the next whitest alternative, which is you. So now they're afraid of you. And, I don't get it. I mean, if what you do doesn't bother them, like they say,
they should have let me in that chat.
Why would they have a problem discussing any of it with you?
Agreed.
Because they don't want to try to prove themselves.
No, because they knew they would get owned.
It ain't none of that shit like, I don't feel the need to prove myself over the internet like BLACKB0ND. It's that they can't prove anything over the internet.
They knew they would get destroyed. That's exactly why they invite me in. They knew they'd get destroyed. You got Zier getting all teary-eyed. He talking to Hard 8. Oh, hey, man, why don't you tell BLACKB0ND this? And, hey, and John Ho was like, well, why don't you tell... And Hard 8's like, wait, why did you tell me to tell him? Why don't you invite this man in the call and tell him to... Oh, I gotta go. I got something to do. I gotta cook dinner at 12:45.
It gets even worse than him fleeing from you. Not only did he avoid talking to you, but Dr. Trey, of all people, comes into the chat and he sidesteps Dr. Trey.
Oh, that was beautiful. He
sidesteps the least necessary person to have to sidestep in this community. No one should ever have to sidestep to Dr. Trey, but he sidesteps to him. Oh no, I never call you a pedophile. He calls people all sorts of shit.
Yeah, he was telling Trey that he's a pedophile for playing Mario Kart with children. And talking, he was like, why do you want voice chat on Mario Kart so you can talk to children, you pedophile? And he made a video calling him Trey Dusky.
Yep.
But, he swears on his mom, he swears on his grandmother, he swears on his daughter, he swears on his God, he swears on the entire planet that he's 100% real, and he never said that. Dude, it's such a fraud.
Yeah, associates him with a known pedophile from...
Penn State.
From Penn State, right. But he didn't call him a pedophile. He just associated him with a known pedophile.
Girls out there are pretty cute, though. I can't lie. I've been up there a couple times.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends that used to go there.
That explains a lot. But it was laughable. It was so pathetic. I mean, another thing that just annoyed me about it is that it's like everyone has taken up the MVP method of being in a Skype chat, because everyone just sits and tries to drown each other out, and it's inward, faggot. It's the same shit over and over again.
They're not really doing much.
It always boils down to a screaming match. Nothing gets resolved. Nothing gets proven. Nothing gets disproven.
They're not really doing much to not make black people look good, or to make black people look bad. However you want to look at it.
You have more of a right to say that than me. Not by much, but you have more of a right nonetheless.
Man.
I'm not gonna step on that landmine. You're free to do that because you.
Yep.
You are at least I'm a vanilla cookie and you're an Oreo cookie, so you at least have a little bit more right to blow yourself up in that regard than I do.
And that's what kills me at the end of the video, like, oh, we shouldn't be attacking our brothers, we shouldn't be attacking our people, we need to all stick together, we're crying, listen.
That's all they do. And even with with me and Hard 8, I don't have a beef with Heart 8 at all. I never have. But I'm me. So, of course, every time I go into a chat and he's there, the very first thing I do is I crack a prison rape joke. That's the first thing that pops into my mind the minute I see his name. I drop a prison rape joke in the chat. And sometimes he just kind of laughs it off and says, "Oh, this guy's got jokes," or he will just disappear from the chat for a while and then come back later. But he knows that I don't mean anything by it. He and I have had that conversation before.
Yeah.
Now, I do find it funny that when I posted that video talking about news reviews whores that didn't name anybody, that the first thing that he did was him and BG ganged up on me on Twitter trying to talk some trick shit on Twitter, and then both of them post videos explaining why they're not news reviews whores, but not naming me as the reason that they're posting that video. So it just kind of people have been talking, and I'm the only one that was talking about it at the time.
It is what it is.
That is what it is. But overall, me and Heart 8 got no beef.
No.
But
I mean, me and Heart 8 have had issues too, but shit comes, shit goes. It's like the seasons: winter, summer, spring, fall.
The guy, you gotta give him this. It would take a pretty big guy to admit the fact that he was getting beat down so bad in a fight that his only way out was to grab a dude by the dick.
And that's what kills me.
And no one exposed that. He came out.
He came out and said it. That's what kills me, yo.
This is what prison is like. Sometimes to save your own ass,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Grab a man by the dick.
I mean, I've never been to jail or anything, but I always just imagine, you're in prison. It's survival of the fittest, motherfucker. It's kill or be killed, eat or be eaten. There's no rules, no hold bars. It's the boiler room brawl. You do what you gotta do to survive. He never hit it. He came out and straight up said it.
If you've been knocked down on the ground and you got a guy standing over you with a shiv, and the only part of him you can reach is his dick, you're going to be ripping off some dick.
Yeah, I mean
that's just the way it is.
People aren't understanding. This isn't a regular fight in the suburbs or a regular fight in the street. This is a fight in prison. Like I said, I've never been in prison, but my mentality is survive by any means necessary.
Look, I've been in my fair share of scraps from age 17 to now. Of course, I'm well past that point in my life, but I will tell you this: if I ever got in a situation where I either had to choose between doing something that was slightly demoralizing or being murdered, I'm going to be ripping off some dick.
Survive.
I will do whatever it takes to win.
Pretty much.
I've always been a dirty fighter. I will do what it takes. I'll throw sand in your face. I'll sneak up behind you if I know you're coming for me. I will take whatever shot I need. But then if somebody gets the best of me and they got me down on the ground and they've got a weapon and they're coming at me and that's the only part of them that I can reach, I'm going to make a eunuch out of them. I don't care. I want to live.
Exactly.
And so I don't see why anyone is going to be making fun of him for that. He did what he had to do to survive, and it's not like they, hacked into the penal system and got records of the fact that he ripped somebody's dick off or grabbed somebody by the dick. He came out and explained that of his own free will to show what prison life is like, and they're trying to turn that into a gay thing when he's not in the room.
Pretty much. But that's funny, though. All these dudes act like they're big bad fighters, and they're like boxers and UFC fighters and shit. Yeah, you got Zier trying to call gang hits on me and BG. I'm going to send my homies after you.
Well, let's not forget, and again, I got nothing against Fat. I know he has problems, and I'm not going to make fun of him for his problems because, everybody's got a problem of one kind or another. But let's not forget the time that he threatened to beat the shit out of somebody with a ball bat in a video. And then I was one of the ones that had to go to him and say, you do know physically threatening somebody over the internet is a federal offense now, right, Fat?
Yep.
And then that video disappeared. But
just like some of mine that he flagged because he is a flagger.
And sometimes he acted like he didn't remember doing that at one point. And I don't know if he was just trying to hope that it would go away, or if his condition literally makes it to where he has short-term memory issues and he doesn't remember the fact that he made that video. I don't know. But that's not something that's going to go away. It's not something that's ever going to be forgotten. This community has a long memory, and that goes right back to the whole Zier thing.
Yep.
If he posted his computer for 2 seconds, no one would ever forget that moment.
And nobody would ever bother him about it again.
No.
But speaking about Fat Gamer, did you see that video Hard 8 posted where Fat Gamer had a Facebook group where they're posting pictures of underage naked animated girls?
Yeah, I saw that.
What the hell's up with that? But we're kind of getting off topic, so you got any final words before we wrap this one up?
You know how I am. I like to diverge a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit too much for my taste, because when I was talking about that about Fat, my last video, I was getting a little uncomfortable.
Well,
but any final thoughts before we end this video? John Ho, Dark Holy, Fat Gamer, and Zier talking about he's cleared his name.
I don't think he's cleared shit. I mean, all he's really done is more reinforce the preconceptions that everybody has about him. And the bottom line is, if he wants to clear his name, then he needs to clear 2 minutes of his schedule to open up his PC case and show it. Otherwise, he's just going to be in the same boat until something comes along to replace YouTube, and then it'll start all over again. The only other point that I can make besides that is that for everyone's sanity and desire to stay on YouTube, we had better hope that they never come out with a hentai Connect game.
Oh God!
Because who's going to be making videos of that, and I don't think that's something that any of us want to see anytime soon.
Hell no. But speaking of which, it was funny how Hard 8 shut up Fat. He said, "Why do you hate?" That's all he said to Fat. And Fat had nothing to say. And I ask you people watching this video, why do you hate? There's no reason to hate. The only reason you hate is because you hate the truth.
Very true.
Can't argue with facts, can't argue with the truth.
And right now in this video, you got two of the most hated in the community, so I mean...
Which ironically are the two people that have probably been gaming the longest and have two of the most extensive libraries and experience of gaming.
Yeah, well, the truth hurts.